Hi, everybody. This is your metal god, Rob Halford from Judas Priest, and you are watching Heavy Consequence.
Rob, congratulations on Judas Priest being named the Heavy Band of the Year here at Consequence, a well-deserved honor. And my first question to you is, after 50 years and 19 albums, what keeps the Priest firing on all cylinders?
Let me start by saying huge thank you to Consequence for this amazing Consequence of Sound, this amazing honor. You know, these things they're not lost on us. They mean a lot. They mean so much in so many ways. And considering the wealth of great bands that have made records this year, it truly is an honor. So thank you so much for choosing Judas Priest. But motivation is part of it. There you go. You've given us some more motivation. I think all artists thrive on the surroundings that are attached to their creativity. And who doesn't want to be embraced, and who doesn't want to have all of our glorious fans and all of our friends in the industry, in the media, shouting priest, priest, priest. It makes you feel good, man. It makes you feel great. It makes you feel like you want to do more. So there's that part of this great passion that Judas Priest still has within us. But it also is the true definition of why this band is still here. If you've seen us, and as so many people have seen us around the world, on the Invincible Shield world tour, yes, this band is firing on all cylinders and more. When we get dressed to go on stage, we're buzzing, man. There is so much energy backstage. There is so much desire to be out on the stage together and the band, because again, it's not lost on us that there's so much love and respect for each other in this band. And it's tough to be in a band, as many bands will tell you. You've got so many different characters, so many different definitions of each band member. So you have to learn to work with that. And it is hard work. It's not easy, you know. Bands break up because that guy looked over me, that guy over there, he looked at me weird, you know, and the band breaks up. It's all of that. So, yeah, it's just a joy for us to be in this special place. And it doesn't really make sense. You can't comprehend.
Yeah.
You can't comprehend, as I've been saying on the little chit chat part of the Rob Halford's on stage late night. For a few minutes when we get a chance to say how much we love our fans, to thank you for supporting us. You know, it is just a great thrill, just to be at this special place 50 years later after Rock-a-Rolla already. Man, that's just a definition there. I sit and talk about that and everybody's like, what did he say, 50 years? It's just a joy, it's a thrill, it's a passion. It's so many ingredients that that make this band who we are, and make this band thrive, and make this band really have no end in sight thing. You know, we don't want to see that. Yeah, how much longer do you think you've got? Because that's a decompressive thought. You know, we're just roaring ahead, and we're thrilled and excited and humbled and honored to be where we're at right now.
That's great. And the band was just nominated for a Grammy Award for Crown of Horns for Best Metal Performance. At this stage in your career, what does something like a Grammy nomination mean to you?
I'll marry that along with this great honor from Consequence of Sound. They're all important, man. They're all important. You know, they all have tremendous value. Again, there's just this great camaraderie that goes on between all of us. We're to be side by side with Metallica and Gojira and Poppy and Spirit Box, to be in that great company of such talented musicians. And here's the thing: we all live the same life. Doesn't matter what band you're in, doesn't matter what kind of music you play. If you're in a band, you're living the same life with everything that it brings to the table. You know, I had no idea. None of us had any idea. I turned on my phone, whatever morning it was recently. It was going ping, 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 ping. Oh no, God, what's happened? You know, not in a negative way, but oh my God, you know, what's going on? And it's really weird because the night before I was laying in bed with my insomnia at 4 a.m. thinking, they're going to announce the Grammys tomorrow. I wonder, is there the slightest, teeniest, remotest chance we might get acknowledged? And of course, that's what all the pinging on the phone was all about. And I did my happy dance because who wouldn't, you know? Again, look at who we are. It's a great song, Crown of Horns. Putting aside who I am in what band I'm in, if you listen to the song, it is a really good song. It's really crafted along the lines of the musicianship that Priest and songwriting that Priest put in to all of our work. You know, we have no idea when these great acknowledgements and opportunities come to us. So it was, man, it's just great, you know, it's just great. And then a little bit later on, I hear from my friends that in the Alice Cooper world that the Rock for Children album has also been nominated, that I performed on with a lot of my friends, with the Norelli family and Alice Cooper Solid Rock. Well, two for what is it? It's just amazing, you know. It's a blessing. Thank you, Lord. It's a blessing.
This year in particular, it seems like the Grammys really got it right. They sometimes have trouble with the metal category, but it's a really cool mix of three veteran bands, Priest, Metallica, and Gojira, and then two real up-and-coming acts in Spirit Box and then Knocked Loose with Poppy. And just wanted to get your take on how those nominees kind of reflect the state of metal these days.
It's a great cross section, isn't it? You've said it there and then. It's just across the board almost, you know. Yes, the Grammys proving itself not to be like this stuffy old institution who didn't get it right the first time they had a metal awards. They know what they're doing now. There's been a lot of shake-up going on in the industry, whether it's the Grammys or the Academy Awards or whatever. There's a lot of internal discussion. They've made a lot of changes, very valuable, important changes. And so, yes, you know, it's funny. I saw a comment. Somebody said, "Oh, not Priest and Metallica again," you know. But and that's okay. That's okay. Look, we're thrilled for everybody, you know, and it is important to acknowledge everybody from whatever generation you're in, but it has to have merit. This isn't a popularity contest; it's merit, and the Grammy people know what they're doing, and the Grammy members that vote, you know, for who they think are valuable or worthy. I'm not worthy, you know. All of that goes into it, so it's not put tick the box. It's a thinking process. So all of the talent in this year's metal section are well deserved.
And speaking of Gojira, they had that incredible performance at the Olympics opening ceremony this past summer. What were your thoughts on witnessing that and what it meant for the metal scene as a whole?
I was surprised and shocked and thrilled and delighted to see metal on the Olympics because I'm an Olympics fan, like most people. Because again, it's teamwork. You know, all of these athletes get there by their own skill and endurance, and again, perseverance. But there's a team around them, and any winner will say, "Yeah, if it wasn't for my coach, if it wasn't for my family, da 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 da." Da. So, what I mean by that is the Gojira band is again, it's a family, it's the metal family, it's the metal community. So wow, that was just such a thrill, and and shout out to the French for doing something like this. You know, some countries would be a little bit hesitant, but this is the beauty of France. They are such a cosmopolitan place for all arts and record. It's not like, oh, you can't put metal in the Olympics. It's like, how do you say that? It's Gojira, you know. It's great. and they deserve it. And you know, I'd be rooting for Gojira. I love that band. I've been a Gojira fan since day one. So yes, again, a big thrill for that band, and I hope to bump into the guys at the Grammy awards on the red carpet or whatever.
And getting back to your album, Invincible Shield, I think one of the most remarkable things about such a triumphant album is the health obstacles you guys had to overcome. Richie Faulkner with that heart emergency, and then you with your own battle with prostate cancer. Can you talk about creating an album, a successful album, after going through so much as a band?
If that isn't what heavy metal is about, I don't know what is, man. You know, we go back to the time in our industry when heavy metal was a couple of dirty words. You know, radio wouldn't play us. There was very little coverage by the media. We had to kind of circle the metal wagons because we believed that particular time that we went through was just a blip. People were shuffling, you know, that's the way people work and art works and so forth. So this self-preservation that we have within our metal community is really on display here, you know. I've spoken to Richie a million times about this, and much like myself, his attitude was, okay, this has happened to me, you know, I'm going to deal with it. How do I get back on stage? You know, how do I get back to work? But I think, you know, excuse me, in all honesty, that's my alarm going up. In all honesty, I think most people that are dealing with, in this instance, a life or death situation, so many of us refuse to curl up in a ball. You know, we fight, 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 and that's part of the mantra of the heavy metal experience. Yeah, and the British thing, get on with it. You're not allowed to moan in England or the UK. The Brits are like, get on with it, you know. And I kind of like that. Kind of like that mentality of my country. It's said in a kind of loving way. Just get on with it, you know. Live your life. God, life is short as it is, and look at the stuff that's going on around us at the moment. Thank God for music.
And another reason we're naming you our Heavy Band of the Year here at Consequence is your live show. Your concerts were amazing this year. The band sounded great. Your voice sounded great. Can you talk about why it's so important to you and to the band to put on a great show for your fans, decades into your career?
We've been doing this thing since day one. We've always had this vision of leaving our fans with something memorable visually, as well as the thrill of going to a pre-show to hear your favorite songs. It's important that the bike roars out on the stage one time. A lot of people are there for that. It's a qualifying moment to a great degree for the band and for our fans. It represents so much. But the actual work that goes into the set design and our great lighting, designing people and our sound people and our amazing crew, we spend a lot of money to make sure that we give our fans the best experience that they can. And it's all about, as your fans are leaving and driving home, they go, man, I can't wait to see Priest again. That's your hope, you know, because it is, you go to see a band, you never go, hey, shall we go and hear this band? Shall we go and see Priest? You know, so but that's part of the story of the live show, and yeah, we try and do something a little bit different that hopefully hasn't been done before. Like at the very start of this tour, where the band is behind this small kabuki over the drum kit, and the kabuki drops, and for just a few seconds, you see the band in a very tight formation. It's only for a few seconds. Photographers are losing their mind because, like, oh my God, I've got them all in one shot, you know. But our fans, just for that microsecond, because the start of any show is so exciting, right? It's such a thrill. It's happening. There's my band, you know. So you see the band, and we're all there, and I'm in my metal pose or whatever, and we're all kind of playing the opening sequence to Panic Attack before we step off the riser and walk to the stage. And I thought long and hard about the start of this particular tour to try and do something that's not been done before, probably been done before Google, has a band ever done this thing with research, Rob Halford research department? But it's the thought, and the work process behind all of the stage shows that again keep this band at this level. We do not want to disappoint you. We respect the fact that you've taken your hard-earned cash from work and you bought a ticket. That's never lost on us. We think about our fans all the time. So we want to say thank you for being a fan, for coming to a show, and let's give you, one of your best nights out you can have in the heavy metal world.
I wanted to ask about Painkiller because next year you're going to be celebrating the 35th anniversary of that album on tour, and obviously it's one of your all-time classic albums. I wanted to ask, what that album meant for the band in terms of your career and where it fits in your discography as a whole.
The importance was we had to really go into a huddle and say we really need to show off what this band's true heart and soul and spirit is about. And I'm using that in reference to some of the previous albums and some of the previous songs. Our attitude was we're going to make the hardest, heaviest, strongest, most energized metal album we've ever done. And we did that. We achieved it. It's full on. It only pulls back a little bit for Touch of Evil. The rest of it is just non-stop. We did it in Miraval Studios in the south of France. It was very isolated. So unlike Ibiza, when we were going into the clubs every night, it was very, very isolated. So we really got into the work in a very, very strong way with no interference. And so the exercise of achieving all of the components to make that album as strong as we wanted it to be was a success. And again, a band will tell you, we've done everything we can. Let's see what happens. The world embraced that album. It's a beloved, revered metal album. A lot of our friends in different bands will say, if you want to hear what a metal album is all about, put on Painkiller. And that's pretty cool. But our fans as well recognize that out of all of the 19 albums that this band has ever made, Painkiller is still very heavily under the spotlight. And here we are, 35 years next year. Let's do something, guys. It's still in the works, but we're going to go and show it off. Not in its entirety. I haven't figured out yet whether we're just going to do a clump of Painkiller songs. This is the Painkiller section, or we're going to go Painkiller song, a couple of others, Painkiller song, a couple of others. It's all in theory in my mind at the moment. But however, I think it's going to be a real thrill and a treat. And again, a once in a lifetime thing for the band. You'll only see the show once. You'll only see the Shield of Pain show once. So we hope our fans will be on the rail and banging their heads to it.
Thank you so much, Rob. Congrats again on being named Consequence's Heavy Artist of the Year. Looking forward to more great things in 2025.
Thank you, my friend. Always a pleasure.